I am a forest whisperer from Canada. We need to chat about some things that are happening in the world, and I'm sure I'm the least important person that will be talking about this today, but I launched a shadow work course in my community yesterday, and now I know why. I mean, I kind of knew. So I thought while I was trying to process what happened in the US yesterday as a verbal processor, I'd just come on here and like share with the world what I'm thinking about all of this and what I've been thinking about this for a while now. And I'm also going to show you how to cook something. So one of the things I haven't really ever shared with my community is, and don't mind my very messy house in the background. We just did some renovations and I'm still living in reno mode, even though we're not really in reno mode anymore. But I want to start talking about how I afford to feed my family on like almost nothing, because we're down to one income and that's the way we want it, especially because what is about to happen and, you know, how things are going to change. We wanted to know that we could do it. So we decided, I think it was a year ago, for me to stay home and just become like the family caretaker and see if I could grow some food, see if I could provide something for my family that we weren't able to do if I was working. And just like, people are probably like, what is this thing? I've MacGyvered a battery pack for my headphones. So one of my biggest tips for shopping is just buy what's on sale. Of course, buy what you like what's on sale. So like we like wild whitefish, so cod or what are these, sole? So they're wild caught, and these were on sale the other day. So I just brought one of each. I had no idea. Hi guys, hey. I had no idea what I was gonna do with it at the time, but I love to make fish pie. So I was gonna show you today how I was gonna do that. And we're using this wild, and I know, please, I'm sure there's another company that does a better job of harvesting, but this is the whole thing about living and cooking in a dystopian time. We kind of have to make the choices that we can afford. So I will never judge you for your food choices, so don't judge me. We try to do our best within the economy that we're in. So I'm just gonna toss these in a little bit of water to let them unthaw. I could probably put them in frozen, but I'm gonna make a fish pie. So give me 2 seconds. Use that. So I love cooking. I've always loved cooking. I do like ketchup, actually. I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, just so you know, I'm British, and we're very like, well, first of all, there is a subsection of the British people that love really bland food. So that's one thing. But also the national dish is curry. So there's this like crazy dichotomy as always with British culture. So I love like really homey, like this is what I'm gonna make today. This is from the Jamie Oliver cookbook. It is, what one is it? Oh, it's the Naked Chef Takes Off. So it's a fantastic fish pie. And I alter recipes, so I don't necessarily have exactly what's in this recipe today, but I'm gonna use what I have, because that is one of the things that is gonna help you learn how to save money when things start to get a little wild in the near future. So if you don't know, I'm also a seer and a medium, and I connect with all sorts of energies, mostly the trees and the mycelium. And I communicate every day with my forest, and my forest gives me messages, and then I give those messages to the world. So while I'm going to be doing that today, I'm also going to be cooking. Sometimes I light fires for people, and sometimes I cook. So I've got to get... I think all my good knives are dirty. I'm not a very good cooking host. I mean, I didn't plan to do this at all. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. And you'll notice I sing a lot because I'm autistic. And I have this thing called echolalia. And sometimes when I hear things like, oh my God, I'm so afraid to say this word because when it gets in my head, I can't get it out. Does anybody else have echolalia? Echolalia, where you repeat a word over and over and over again in your head. There was one that I had when I was a kid, which was exsanguinate. And at the time, I don't even think I knew what that word was. I think I had watched the X-Files and they were talking about exsanguination because I think it was the Tombs episode, if you're an X-Files fan. I think it was Tombs, but he would exsanguinate his victims. So like just totally like drain them of their blood. So like if you're a vampire lover, you probably know the word exsanguination. But that one gets stuck in my head a lot. And then the other one that my son has planted so lovely in my head is skibbity. And if there's any kids on here, you're going to be like, oh no, not skibbity toilet. I know. It's something weird that the kids do, but the word skibbity gets caught on my tongue and I just skibbity, 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 skibbity. And he said one time I said it 35 times in a row, and that's my autism, a part of it anyway. I have all sorts of lovely little things that I now know are associated with my autism because I wasn't diagnosed until I was 46. So I knew that I had like executive function issues, and I knew that I had a memory issue because I had that tested in college. But when you actually get the diagnosis and you look into like the details of what it's all about and you connect all the dots and you go, oh, right, autism. Yeah, that's me. I'm as tistastic as they come. I'm an uber creative soul that can't stay in one place for too long. I can't make friends, or I can't keep them for very long because I speak very bluntly. I just thought I was bold. You know, and this is the thing, a society tells you, and this is what I'm getting to why I came on here. I'm a verbal processor, like I said, so I will just talk and talk and talk. And okay, what was I saying? Another thing with my memory, my lumberjack just texted me and it distracted me. If I get distracted, I'm gone. I'm off and gone. So what we're doing for this fish pie first is we're peeling all the veggies that are gonna make the mash on top. So I use carrot, I use sweet potatoes, I use potatoes, and I use a couple of different kinds of potatoes. One, because I can't even remember what they are, but they're much creamier, so they make a really creamy mash. And I will tell you, I stopped doing like just mashed potatoes and mash on my like shepherd's pie and stuff a really long time ago, because when I realized I could actually like put more nutrients in my meals if I used something other than a white fleshy substance. Yeah, it tastes really good, especially the sweet potato and the carrots. Like I don't put a lot of that in, but it just sweetens it. And then the top kind of gets like, if you do it right and you maybe add a little sugar. I know, not healthy. I'm not that kind of chef. But if you do it, you get a really nice crunchy top. And you can also put, what do I put on the top? What are they called? Nutritional yeast flakes. And it makes it like really cheesy, but then you get like 300% of your vitamin B. So here, yeah, nutritional yeast. This is my Red Mills. So I'll put that on top too with a little bit of panko. But we're starting with cutting up and peeling all the vegetables. So how are you guys feeling today about everything? Is anybody here from the US? Anybody watching? Because I'm feeling for you, man. I lit you some fires last night on, I think I did that on Instagram. But I lit some healing fires because I knew this was going to be a moment of kind of a tough one. You know, everybody's going to have to face the choices that they made and what was allowed to happen yesterday and how that even happened. I have no idea. But again, I just think the US are not ready for a female president. That's all it is. And I bet you if Biden had stayed in, we'd be back to, because he's an old white man. And that's what people want to see, is an old white man. So here's the thing. It's going to change a lot for a lot of people. And I'm here in Canada, and a lot of people here think we're safe from the craziness. But, you know, he's our largest trading partner, or they're our largest trading partner. And there's going to be some decisions made where they may not be trading as much with us anymore because they want to be supporting their own, which I totally agree, man. I do think we have to focus on small businesses and supporting each other and taking care of each other. But we're going to really have to do some deep questioning of what we want to create in our lives. And that's why I launched a shadow work course yesterday that I'm going to be doing for free. So if you're watching this, but anytime between November 5th and December 21st, you can come into my community and do a shadow work course for free. And that's my offering to the world, to say thank you for putting me in this place at this time to learn these lessons so I could then teach this work. So I know that this is what I'm supposed to be here to do, to teach people how to live a simpler life, to teach people that there are ways of being that are not stressful, that are not overwhelming, where you don't feel like you're on whatchamacallit. What is that called? On a hamster wheel. I don't want to feel like I'm on a hamster wheel anymore. Do you? I know I definitely do not want to feel like I'm on a hamster wheel. And 5 years ago, my body just said, well, if you're not going to choose to stop, we're going to force you to stop. And my body just said no more. So I had to take a break. I was forced to take a break. And what I want to tell you is, do not wait. Learn how to slow down before your body stops you, because it will. And I will tell you, I know there are a lot more undiagnosed autistic ADHD people that are in full burnout mode right now. And this will bring a lot of them to a crashing halt, because it's going to change some people's lives in a major way. So we have to try to discover what is important to us and what are we willing to let go of, and what do we need to hold on to. And you have to get serious about it, because now a lot of people's choices are going to get taken away. A lot of people's, I gotta grab a pot, hang on. If you're just hopping on, I'm making Fantastic Fish Pie by Jamie Oliver. A lot of people are gonna have a holy fuck moment, and our freedoms and our, you know, ability to choose may be taken away. And if you're in Canada like me and you think you're safe from this, maybe look behind you and see what happens when the US turns conservative and when they vote in a conservative. What happens in Canada? We go conservative. We choose the exact same thing. And it's just, it's cyclical. It's cyclical like anything else. It's cyclical like our lives. It's cyclical like the weather. It's cyclical like the seasons. So we're here for this, and we have to live through this next little bit, and we have to survive. So if you want to learn how to survive, hang out on this feed for a while, and I'll teach you some tricks, not just cooking, not just how to live cheaply, like on the, you know, but also, why did I build a efficient house 23 years ago? We knew this was coming. We knew, well, I knew what was coming. Because if you don't know, I'm also a seer and a healer. So I see and connect with things beyond this realm and this world. And I've been seeing this for quite a long time. And if you're a loyal follower of mine, you'll be like, oh shit, yeah, Emma did say 5 years ago it was gonna take 5 years for us to get out of this, but then it's gonna get worse. I did say that. So here we go, here's the worse. But if we can have radical acceptance and we can be in this moment and realize, what can I control? I can't control the US making really interesting choices with their voting. Very interesting choices. I, you know, thought that this wasn't going to happen. Well, really, I wanted it not to happen. And I think that's what happened. There were so many people that just wanted this so badly not to happen that we convinced ourselves it wasn't going to happen. And I think I, for one, was one of those, because I had for the longest time been like, no, he's going to get back in, guys. He's going to get back in. We need to be taught. So he's going to get back in. And everybody's like, no, they'd never do that. They'd never go back to that. And I'm like, yeah, he is. And then about a week ago, I wavered. But it was only because I saw a couple of her big things. And I went, oh, okay, we'll be fine. But I think what happened in the States is they went, oh, we'll be fine. We don't have to vote. Or, you know what? I will just vote the way I always vote. I don't think I need to keep my daughter safe. I think I'm just going to vote the way my husband told me to vote. Because, you know, he's the leader of that house and I should listen to him. Okay, ladies, you need to grow some balls. And maybe some men out there too. Maybe you need to grow some balls. Maybe you need to stand up to your parents. Maybe you need to stand up to whoever is like, no, man, you got to vote the way I got to vote. We got to start choosing different things. So that is where we're going to end the complaining about this, because we're going to start choosing better. We're going to start choosing to live more frugally, to make more food. You know, I was out with my husband last night and we went to go get some bed sheets. And we looked around and I went, I think we're the only people that don't eat out. I honestly think like every single restaurant parking lot was packed. Everywhere we went. And I mean, we were just out for, like I said, bed sheets. But I'd already made dinner, and tonight I make every single meal, 365. And I know some people are rushed, but it doesn't have to be hard. And I'm going to start posting simple recipes in my community that you can make really easily and really cheaply. Like this is probably, it's probably $5 worth of fish and probably $5 worth of vegetables. So for $10, I'm going to feed my family for probably, well, at least probably two meals for $5. So this is what I'm talking about. You can continue to eat out. You can continue to live a life that is beyond what you are capable of doing. Or you can come and hang out in the Sacred Grove with me and a bunch of other wildlings, and you can learn how to do things like our ancestors did, the normal way, the non-consumer way, the way that we survived for generations. And then for some reason, the boomers decided that we needed everything right now and we needed it easily because we could. Whew. So we need to wind that back a little bit. We need to learn again these really easy skills to make our lives easier. I am 48, and the amount of people that I know that can't cook or don't know how to cook these really basic meals is insane. So come to the Sacred Grove. I promise I won't point a knife at you. No, and I may do it with a little sense of humor. I'm autistic, I'm British, I live in Canada, I'm a forest whisperer. I do all sorts of weird stuff, but I also do a whole bunch of stuff that makes a whole lot of sense. So if you like anything you hear here, if you like anything that you hear here, like, subscribe, put the notification bell on so you can get more of these really little simple tips and tricks to make your life a little bit easier in these dystopian times. So what did we learn here today? We learned to buy things on sale and then plan your meals around it. And you can make very simple meals that will last you. I could stretch this to probably last 3 days. I'm making a lot of mash, so this might actually be one freezer meal and one for $10. So stick around, or subscribe, or join me in my community. The links will be below. Come and learn how to thrive in dystopian times from an autistic mystic and a tree whisperer. Bye for now, wildlings. Go be wild.